So if you're an e-commerce seller, you totally know this feeling. You find an amazing, winning product, and then comes that sinking feeling when you realize you have to create the listing. And then another one, and another one. It's the one thing that slows you down from what you're actually supposed to be doing, growing your business.
Does that hit a little too close to home? Do you feel like you're spending more of your day being a data entry clerk than the CEO of your own brand? Well, what if there was a way to just hand that entire tedious process over to someone else?
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about that endless listing task. Then, we'll introduce a really cool done-for-you solution. We'll walk through the initial setup, which is super easy. Then we'll dig into the choice between control and automation. And finally, we'll look at the awesome AI-powered result.
Okay, let's just start with the main problem here. Listing products by hand isn't just boring, it's a massive roadblock to actually scaling your business. Think about it. Every single hour you spend typing in details is an hour you're not spending on marketing, on strategy, or on connecting with your customers. You're stuck working in the business instead of on it.
But here's the thing. What if you could just pass that whole job off to a team that actually does this for a living? That's exactly the idea behind the We List For You service from a company called Hustle Got Real. We'll just call them HGR to keep it simple.
So, what is it really? Well, it's a professional service where a team of experts finds products, writes killer titles and descriptions, and then pushes those high-quality listings right into your store for you. The whole point is for you to be totally hands-off. The concept is just so simple and powerful. Instead of you grinding away at the keyboard, you have pros who live and breathe this stuff, handling everything. This frees you up to think about the big picture, actually building your brand.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, a premium service like this has got to be a pain to set up, right? Well, actually, no. It's designed to be super straightforward, and it's really just a few simple steps.
It really just boils down to 3 things. You pick your package, you do a quick prep of your store, and then you tell them what you want. Let's take a look.
First things first, you just choose how many products you want them to list, let's say 50, and you go through the checkout. Easy enough.
Next up is a super quick but really important check on your store settings. You just want to make sure your basic rules, like how much profit you want to make, are already set up. This way, every single product they list for you automatically has your profit margin baked right in. And boom, once your order's placed, you'll see this right on your dashboard. That big configure button, that's your next stop. This is where you get to tell the HGR team exactly what you're looking for.
And this, right here, is probably the most powerful part of the whole service. You get to choose. You can either go full-on automation and let the experts handle everything, or you can get granular and have precise control. It's totally up to you.
So let's start with the first big choice, suppliers. You can either let the HGR team pick their trusted, proven suppliers for you, or you can go in and manually select the ones you want to work with. And here's what that choice actually looks like. On the left, you've got the simple one-click HGR Chooses option for total automation. On the right, you can dive in and handpick the exact suppliers you already know and trust. It's that flexible.
Now, if you do let HGR choose, you're basically tapping into their expertise. They pick suppliers they already know are reliable, have fast shipping, and they make sure to match them to your store's location. So US suppliers for a US store, UK for a UK store, and so on. You do zero research.
All right, next up, your pricing strategy. And guess what? You have that same powerful choice. You can let the pros hunt for winning products, or you can set the exact financial rules you want them to follow.
The HGR Chooses option gives the team the most freedom to find those hidden gems at any price point. Or you can click I Choose and put up some financial guardrails, like telling them you only want products that will make you a specific amount of profit.
And this is a really important point. If you choose the automated option, it does not mean they ignore your profits. Absolutely not. Your store's base markup rules are always followed. This just gives them the flexibility to find the best possible products without being tied to a super narrow price range.
But hey, if you like being in the driver's seat, you can get really specific. You can set a minimum and maximum cost for the products themselves, or you can set a target for the minimum and maximum profit per item. The team will then only list products that fit into those exact rules you've set.
And the last big decision you have to make is all about the publishing frequency. Basically, how quickly and when your brand new product listings will actually go live in your store.
Honestly, this is where their expertise is a huge advantage. The automated option doesn't just dump all your listings at once. It spreads them out over several days. Why? Well, it helps avoid raising red flags on platforms like eBay, which don't like to see a store suddenly upload a massive number of products. It's a smart, protective move that comes from years of experience.
So, you've set all your preferences, you hit the submit button. What happens next?
Well, this is where the real magic happens. The HGR team gets to work, and every single listing they create for you is supercharged with AI.
And let's be clear, we're not talking about some basic copy and paste job. Not at all. These listings are fully optimized to sell. The AI helps create titles that will rank high in search results, it writes persuasive descriptions that make people want to buy, and it makes sure all those little background details are filled out for the best visibility.
And this is the payoff. You go back to your dashboard and you see the status just flips from working on your listings to active. And that's it. It's done. Your store is now full of professionally made, AI-optimized listings ready to make you money while you're off doing something else.
Which really brings us to the final and most important question. With your entire product listing process now running on autopilot, what are you going to do with all that time you just bought back? Are you going to double down on marketing, focus on amazing customer service, or find even more winning products? The choice is finally yours.